What's up, guys? My name is Lefty. I'm going to tell you why you should never pay for sports betting picks. I'm going to discuss the different types of touts. I'm going to go over some of the tricks they use to separate you from your money. And I'm going to hammer this point home by going over the math using break-even percentages. And I'll show you a couple examples of just how unlikely it is for you to win money while paying for picks. Now, before I dive into this controversial topic of pick selling, do me a favor, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Everything I do here is 100% free. The daily play video breakdowns I do here on YouTube, the Betting Network Discord community I run, the Picks tech service, it's all free. And if I'm being honest, I don't even know how to monetize it. So I think helping me grow here on YouTube is a fair trade-off. Even a quick comment helps. Tell me the way I talk is stupid. I don't care. But let's get into the topic at hand. Pick sellers, or what they're often referred to as touts. You ever wonder why there's so many people selling picks? It's because nothing's really stopping them. You see, the sports betting industry is so unique because there's no regulation. Literally anyone can create a social media account or get a website, start selling picks, and because there's no guidelines or monitoring, they can make crazy claims of winning and just flat out lie about their experience or expertise. It was hilarious to me when all the pick sellers turned into Korean baseball experts overnight when sports got shut down for COVID. I just pictured all of them panicking to find bets to sell. Now, not all pick sellers are just bad people. In fact, I think most of them are good people. They just don't know enough about sports betting to know they have no business charging money for their opinion. Now, with thousands of pick sellers out there, I found that they all seem to fall into one of these three categories I'm about to discuss. And the first one is the worst one, called the scammers. These are the pick sellers who use lies and deception to get subscribers. They use every trick in the book, like, the ABC bet system, which is when they'll give out a big favorite as an A bet. And if it loses, you double down and bet another big favorite as a B bet. And they'll do this till it wins. And when it finally does, they'll count it as going 1-0 on a system play. So when you see a pick seller with like a 45-0 record, he's likely using one of these special systems. Scammers love showing off exotic cars and cash. I know a pro bettor. He drives a 2007 Honda Accord, and it's a piece of shit. He doesn't care the car he has because he sits in front of a computer for 14 hours a day. The scammer pick sellers are the worst type of pick sellers because they know they aren't profitable sports bettors, but they know they don't have to be. As long as they're good at marketing and advertising, the new or uneducated sports bettor will fall for the gimmicks and sign up and just donate them money. It's a revolving door. These pick sellers don't have people renewing their subscription each month. They survive off new bettors who don't know any better. Now, the next type of pick seller is what I label the innocent pick seller. They might be good, honest people, but for some reason or another, they think their opinion is worth money. Now, I can almost say with certainty, there's someone on Instagram right now that just learned how to bet on sports. They might have some graphic design experience, and they just started selling picks, and there's people actually buying picks from them. The innocent pick seller hasn't yet been put through the grinder. They still think sports betting is easy. They may not have the intention of costing you money, and they might even feel bad about losing, but in the end, it's equally as costly as the scammer. Now, the third type of pick seller is what I call the break-even pick seller. Similar to the innocent pick seller, they both believe they should be paid for their opinion, but the break-even pick seller actually has experience betting and does okay with their bets, which gives them the confidence to start charging money for their picks. But they also know buying picks is for suckers or not optimal. They might even be profitable with their own personal betting, but if they had to factor in the cost of paying a daily, weekly, or monthly subscription cost, they'd likely be closer to a break-even bettor. I guess if you had to buy picks, you'd want it to be from the break-even pick seller, even though they themselves know it's very unlikely for you to be profitable long-term. But it really doesn't matter the type of pick seller because there's just some fundamental flaws that make buying picks a net negative. And the more you learn about betting sports, the easier it is to understand that paying for picks is just not the way to go. Everyone is looking for a shortcut. If there was a successful long-term winning pick seller, everyone would know about him. Word would travel like wildfire. People would be lining up to buy his picks. What would eventually happen is, as soon as the picks were released, the lines would move. A pick seller with a huge following would influence the betting market. So let's say he gave out the Suns -4. The books would move to -5 right away. Some of you are thinking, so what? It's only 1 point. It won't matter. And you're right. It won't matter sometimes, but it will absolutely matter over a large sample size. And what will end up happening is the pick seller will have a better record than the people buying picks. Now, I didn't just make up this hypothetical scenario. This is actually what has happened to the very few successful pick services. Their success ultimately becomes a negative to the clients because they can never get the spread or price the pick seller releases the picks at. Now, I'm sure some of you watching might buy picks or think buying picks is a good strategy. So I'm going to go through some of the numbers to better explain this. Now, if you make bets at -110 juice, you must win 52.4% of your bets in order to break even. It's 52.38% to be exact, but let's just say 52.4% is break even percentage for a standard -110 bet, no matter the amount you bet. Winning 52.4% of your bets is harder than it seems, and remember, that's just to break even. Now, let's say you subscribe to a pick seller and it costs $200 a month. I'm sure some cost more, but let's just say $200 a month. Now you might have to win 54% just to break even, and let's say 55% to turn a profit. So 55% is now what's needed to overcome the -110 juice and the cost of the picks. I'm sure some of you might be thinking, well, I paid $200 for a month of picks and won $200 the first week. But what did you finish the month at? Because remember, long term, the pick seller must win around 55% in order for you to be profitable. Now, the best sports bettors in the world win roughly 56 to 58% long term. Billy Walters, who's a legend and widely considered one of the most successful sports bettors of his era, had a documented long-term winning percentage of 55 to 58%. Is it possible to have a win percentage of 70 or 75% over the course of a week or a month? Of course it is, but over the long term, like a season or 3 or 4 months, 57% is what's considered elite level. So really the question should be, is the person that's trying to sell you picks one of the best sports bettors in the world? He'll have to be very close to the best if you want to make a profit, because no matter what, you're going to need him to win close to 56% long term to make any type of decent profit. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's say you decide to purchase a monthly subscription from Acme Lead Pipe Lock Sports Consultant Agency. They charge $200 for their monthly pick package, and you got a plan to bet $100 on their lead pipe lock of the day. I know most pick sellers sell more than one play a day, but for this example, we're just going to use a sample size of 31 plays. Acme Lead Pipe Locks is really good. They win 55% of their plays, so after the 31 days, they finish with a record of 17-14. Now, assuming all bets were made at -110, which in itself would be crazy because pick sellers love giving out huge favorites, but at -110 juice, you would have a total of $1,700 in wins and $1,540 in losses for a profit of $160. The subscription costs $200, so you're down $40. Now, Acme Lead Pipe Locks, they get to promote a winning record, but it just costs you $40 and a bunch of time. You can do the math for 60 days, and it's basically the same thing. The bottom line is, in order to overcome the juice and the subscription fees, you'll need the pick seller to win like some of the best bettors in the world do. And by the way, the best sports bettors in the world, they're not on IG saying they're the best. I know there's pick sellers claiming to have 65 or 70% win rates. They're either lying or just betting huge favorites, which will give them a higher win rate, but their money won will be shit. The best bettors in the world protect their picks. Their picks are how they make money, and they don't want anyone having access to them for the fear of someone reverse engineering or finding out the process of how they find their picks. So in summary, people have been betting on sports for a long time, There's some very smart people with good strategies that still couldn't win. But here's the good news. There have been enough people that have tried and failed, and now we have a blueprint on what works and what doesn't work. Now, when I was a bookie, my boss told me something that stuck with me. He said, half the country is overweight, but how to lose weight has been solved. Everyone knows what it takes to lose weight. It's just hard to do. The same thing is with sports betting. There's a way to win betting sports. It's just a lot of time and extreme disciplines needed. Now, we know what doesn't work. There's hundreds of ways to lose money betting sports, and paying someone for their opinion, on a sporting event is definitely on this list. The best you can hope for is when you subscribe to a pick seller, you do so during a time where he goes on a hot streak. But if you want to win money betting sports, my best advice is read every book you can get your hands on. Even the bad books will have one or two helpful pieces of advice. Learn as much as you can. There's so much free information available on blogs, websites, and podcasts. Just because you pay for something, it doesn't mean it has value. There's people that charge money for information that's available for free. The way I learned was I found someone who had experience betting, and I was lucky because he was willing to spend time to teach me. And that's exactly what I do now. The Betting Network Discord community, I have over 80 different betting lessons I've posted. I do daily game breakdowns, market analysis. It's 100% free to join. No card info or premium subscription. Sign up link is in the description below. And if you don't have time to learn how to bet on sports, which many don't, you can simply sign up for the text service where I send you my strongest bets of the day. All you have to do is text picks to the number on the screen and opt in. And again, it's 100% free. We don't charge for anything we do at the Betting Network. We don't feel it necessary to cannibalize other bettors. We can just team up together and win money from the bookies. Now, I hope this video was helpful and somewhat entertainment. Let me know in the comment section below what topics you'd be interested in learning about next. I'm going to try to do one of these videos a week, and would love to hear some of the topic ideas you have. But that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, good luck with all your bets. And remember, if you treat sports betting like a business, it might just pay like one.